Case IH and your Case IH dealer thank you for purchasing your new RBX series round baler. Every Case IH round baler is designed to produce dense, well-formed bales every time. In this program, we'll share some basic setup and operating tips to get you on your way and take a look at the net twine-wrapped monitor and how it functions. The program is divided into sections to help you access the material more easily. Here are the sections and their color codes. Before you begin field operation of your new baler, however, take time to read your operator's manual thoroughly. This video is not intended to replace your operator's manual. As you review the manual, pay special attention to the safety precautions at the front of the book. An awareness of the machine's safety features can help keep you and those who work with you safe through the workday. Here are some of the most important reminders. Be aware of the various safety decals located around your baler as you work. These provide a constant reminder of the safe way to work. Before operation, be sure that all safety guards are installed and all latches fastened securely. Do not attempt to operate or maneuver the baler unless you are in the operator's seat with your seat belt buckled. Do not allow others to ride in the tractor or on the baler. Never try to clean or repair the baler or the pickup while the machine is running. Shut off the tractor and disengage the PTO before leaving the operator's seat. Operate your baler at speeds that reflect the terrain in which you're working. Use special care near ditches or embankments. Make sure that the area behind the tailgate is clear before opening. Never work under a raised tailgate unless the mechanical or hydraulic lockout is engaged. Before transporting your RBX baler on public roads, clean the SMV signage, trailing lights, and reflective tape so that they are highly visible. Raise the pickup to the transport position before traveling over the road and do not exceed 25 miles per hour. If the bale chamber is full, maintain a transport speed of 10 miles per hour or less. Steps provide access to the top front of the baler. The lowest step rotates into position. Use the handrail as you climb and descend. First, make certain that the tractor you intend to use has sufficient power and weight to ensure proper baler operation. A chart listing the appropriate horsepower range for each baler model is included in your operator's manual. Next, check the tractor wheel spacing. The tires must be set further apart than the width of the pickup for even feeding and to avoid driving on the windrow. The measurements shown here indicate the minimum inside tire dimension for each pickup. When attaching the baler to the tractor, check to see that the hitch pin is directly below the PTO drive line to avoid vibration. Once the PTO is connected, make sure that the tractor PTO shield is lowered. Install the safety chain so that it will not drag or get caught during turns. To remove the jack, turn the handle to remove weight, then pull out the pin and pull it off the tongue. To mount the jack in the storage position, rotate the step down and mount it on the short tube near the top of the tongue. Return the step to the proper position once it is mounted. Quick connect hoses are used to operate hydraulic functions on the baler, which include the tailgate and optional hydraulic pickups. When connecting the hoses, make sure that they are routed so that they will not contact the PTO or stretch too tightly during turns. Check the function of each hydraulic lever before you begin work. Baler trailing lights are powered using the 7-pin connector. A 12-volt power supply is required. Route the electrical wires so that they don't contact the PTO or bind as the tractor turns. If the tractor is equipped with a 3-point hitch, remove or raise the lower links as high as possible to prevent damage to the PTO driveline. Before you begin work, make certain that there is adequate clearance between the tractor and baler for turning and working over uneven ground. The pickup flotation spring should carry as much of the pickup weight as possible without excessive bouncing or leaving crop in the field. As a starting point on standard pickups, loosen or tighten the bolt on each side of the pickup so that the adjusted weight on each gauge wheel is 50 pounds when it is resting on the ground. The same is true for wide pickups, with the exception of the 1.5 meter pickup which should have 100 pounds on each wheel when on the ground. RBX series balers with 6.8-foot wide pickups offer different feeder options. For information concerning these options and their operation, see your operator's manual. Wind guards keep the incoming crop down and in contact with the pickup tines. Proper adjustment helps to control crop loss. On standard pickups, the wind guard is adjusted using the stops. The lower stop limits upward travel. It must be adjusted so that the tines do not contact the starter roll. Minimum clearance is 2 inches. The upper stop limits downward travel. This stop must be adjusted so that the ends of the wind guard tines do not strike the guards when the pickup is on level ground. On wide pickup models, the wind guard pipe should be set as low as possible, while clearing the top of the windrow. It is adjusted with the chains on each side. Make sure that the pipe is level. The upper and lower stops should be adjusted as on the standard pickup models. Before beginning work, check the tailgate lockout. To test, raise the tailgate, engage the lockout, then try to close it. The tailgate should remain open. Remember, do not work under or around the tailgate unless the lockout is engaged. Before starting a bale, it's important to make certain that the tailgate is latched. A tailgate latch indicator is located on the right front side of the baler. The net twine wrap monitor includes a latch indicator. If the tailgate is not properly latched, the arrow or triangle above the word tailgate will be flashing. The triangle will be solidly lit when the latch is fully closed. The control panel will also beep when the tailgate is latched, and the baler is ready to begin making the next bale. Bale density is controlled by hydraulic pressure. To adjust the bale density pressure, lower the tailgate, release the lock, and adjust using the knob at the right rear of the baler. Turning the knob clockwise increases bale pressure. Turning it counterclockwise will decrease pressure. Once you've made the adjustment, raise the tailgate and check the pressure on the gauge. It may take several attempts before you reach the desired pressure. A bale density chart in the operations section of the operator's manual provides the range of settings for a variety of crops. Adjust to the low side of the range for the first few bales you make in new crop. After that, you can adjust to the desired density. Make sure that you do not exceed maximum baling pressure for your machine. Maximum pressure for the RBX 452 and 462 is 2,500 psi. The RBX 552 and 562 have a maximum of 2,000 psi. Every Case IH RBX series round baler can be equipped to wrap bales with net or twine. The electronic wrap system provides a consistent twine wrap on bales. The operator can adjust the amount of twine to be used. 3-ball twine boxes, located on either side of the baler, supply twine to the wrapping system. The net twine wrap monitor permits wrapping with twine or net. The net is mounted across the front of the baler. The twine loads into swing-out boxes on both sides. Switching from net to twine and back does not require rethreading. Extra net wrap can be stored in the tailgate storage box. An optional front twine box is also available for 4- and 5-foot twine-only balers. To thread the twine, feed it into the guide directly above it. Tie it with a square knot to the second and third balls. Take the twine end from the last ball through the guide above it. Take the twine end through the clamp and out of the hole in the box. Next, take the twine through the guide, then 90 degrees around the wheel. The twine then goes under the front cross tube and through the ring mounted to the bottom, toward the twine tube pivots. Take the twine through the twine tube mounting bracket. On RBX 552 and 562 models, the guide is located in the bracket partway down the twine tube. On RBX 552 and 562 balers, the twine threads through the ring welded to the pivot end of the twine tube. Thread the twine under the U-bolts and guides. At the end of the tube, place the twine between the spring-loaded bullet and ring. Pull out about 18 inches of twine, then thread between the knives and strikers as previously described. Twine tension should be adjusted to about 8 to 12 pounds. If it is too high, it may not start to wrap or might cause depressions in the bale. If it is too low, it may not hold the bale securely. To thread the net wrap, first mount it on the tube. Swing the roll in and latch the tube. Then move the roll to the center. Install the clip on the right end in the groove nearest the end of the tube. Install the hairpin cotter on the left end. Pull the latch down and swing the roll of net out. Pull the loose end of the net for threading. Thread the wrap over the smooth roll, under the shaft, over the shaft, and around the front of the shaft. Using the tool at the front of the baler, push the end of the duckbill. Keep 3 to 4 inches of wrap loose, then pull it to the front to keep it from starting early. Pivot the net roll to the home position while taking up slack. To reach the desired size, measure some completed bales and adjust accordingly. As the baler becomes fully broken in and paint is worn off inside the bale chamber, the bale size will vary. Do not make the first bale's maximum size. Electric wrap balers will automatically make and wrap the following sizes. The net twine wrap monitor option allows operators to change bale size and the number of wraps automatically. We'll discuss the monitor and its functions momentarily. 4 different twine wrap configurations can be achieved with the electric wrap system. See the operator's manual. Most baler functions can be controlled and monitored using the net twine wrap monitor. Let's look at each of the major components on the screen. The 2 large windows at the center of the upper half of the screen provide information on a number of functions at a glance. The larger of the screens indicates the bale size in normal operating condition. Other information, such as the number of twine wraps, can also appear on this screen. We will look at each of these categories as we proceed. A small arrow or triangle indicates whether the baler is operating in the automatic or manual mode, whether net wrap or twine has been selected, and the status of the tailgate. A solid triangle indicates that the tailgate is latched. If it is flashing, the tailgate latch is not engaged. The position of the net or twine actuator also appears on the monitor. At the top of the screen, the indicator appears to show that the bale chamber is full, that the wrap cycle is engaged, and when the bale is ready to eject. The smaller screen to the right is the bale shape monitor. The bar graphs guide you so that you can fill the bale evenly. To the right of the bale shape monitor are the on-off button and the setup diagnostic switch. The Bale Command Plus monitor should always be turned off whenever work is performed on the baler. The setup and diagnostic switch is used by service technicians at the dealership for initial setup of the machine. It also can be used for calibration of bale size and to program a custom twine wrap pattern. And it can be used to turn the bale shape alarm on or off. In the lower right-hand corner, the 4 touchscreen buttons allow adjustment of the bale size and the number of wraps used on the bale. We will demonstrate those keys momentarily. The row above the Case IH logo contains the Auto Manual Mode switch for the bale wrap systems, the Net Twine Selection switch, and the Manual Wrap switch, which you can use to initiate the wrap cycle manually. To the left are the Clear switch, which clears alarms and error codes, the Bales key, which provides both the daily and accumulated bale count, and the Extend and Retract buttons for the net or twine wrap mechanism. Before you begin baling, check the bale size and number of wraps on each bale. To check bale size, depress the Bale Size switch. The size will appear in the window for 2 seconds. If you wish to adjust bale size, depress the Bale Size switch and use the plus or minus keys to arrive at the desired size. If you're using net wrap, depressing the Number of Wraps key will display the number currently selected. To change this number in quarter-turn increments, continue to depress the switch while also depressing the plus or minus keys. If you're using twine wrap, depressing the key once will indicate the wrap pattern. Depressing it twice will display the end wrap selection. To adjust the wrap pattern, depress the Number of Wraps key once and adjust using the plus and minus keys. Bale wrapping is based on a 540 RPM PTO. If the speed is lower, the number of wraps will be reduced. There are 3 pre-programmed twine wrap patterns. One custom program is also available. See your operator's manual for information for these patterns. A few simple break-in procedures for your RBX round baler will help to keep it operating efficiently. As mentioned before, do not make the first few bales at maximum size. Some break-in time is necessary to allow the new parts to loosen up. Bale size should gradually increase until the desired size is attained. During break-in, the bale density pressure adjustment should be kept to the lower end of the range according to the chart in your operator's manual. After a few bales have been made, it can be adjusted upward. Some degree of movement is natural with the chevron belts. Watch, however, for excessive movement or belts that flip over. If they're moving during core formation, drive the tractor to the side where the movement is occurring to even out the flow of crop into the bale chamber. Remember, even feeding of the crop is always important to bale formation. The first step in field operation is to check the crop. Too much moisture can cause spoilage in finished bales. Too little, and the brittle crop can cause excessive loss. Windrow formation is critical to maintaining the proper moisture in the crop. Under most circumstances, the windrow must be either narrow, slightly less than half the width of the pickup, or wide, the same width as the pickup. If not, barrel-shaped bales will result. Narrow windrows should have a defined edge to allow the operator to put the proper amount of material in the bale ends. As you operate, you must alternate sides regularly to ensure even filling of the bale chamber. Full-width windrows must have a uniform thickness across the row, with no crowning in the center. Again, a well-defined edge will make for square-shouldered bales. To set the pickup for field operation, turn the crank counterclockwise until the gauge wheels touch the ground. Additional turns allow the gauge wheels to determine pickup height and to let the pickup float over uneven field conditions. Do not, however, allow the pickup to operate at a height of less than 1 inch above the ground. Dirt, stones, and other material may be thrown in the direction of the tractor and operator. For models equipped with the hydraulic pickup lift, lower the pickup fully using the hydraulic lever. To begin baling, check that the twine tubes or the net knife, if net wrap is being used, are in the home position. Make certain that the pickup is lowered and the tailgate is latched. Turn on the PTO and then increase the throttle to rated speed after the baler is engaged. Operation at higher speed could cause excessive baler wear. Crop must fill evenly across the full width of the baler to form the core. Bales with optimum shape and weathering characteristics are formed when the operator consistently works material into the outside ends of the pickup and bale chamber. If the windrow is not as wide as the bale chamber, drive the baler back and forth across the windrow to start the core. Bale shape indicators are found on both the electric wrap and the net twine wrap monitors. The electric wrap monitor will display the bar graphs only after the core has been formed. The bars indicate the relative crop density on the left and right side. When one side is lower, drive to that side to fill. This should not be constant weaving, but feeding one side, then the other on an alternating basis until the bale reaches appropriate size. By the time the bale alarm sounds, both sides of the bar graph should be equal. The bale is then ready for tying. Once the alarm sounds to indicate the tying cycle, the tailgate can be raised and the bale can be ejected. When the tailgate is again closed and the latch engaged, a new bale cycle can begin. With the net twine wrap monitor, the process is somewhat similar, but significant differences exist. In this example, we will use the auto mode to make a bale. The bar graph on the bale shape monitor will flash until the core is formed, then become solid. Keep the bars as high and close together in height as possible. This will ensure that the bale will be as uniform as possible. The number on the bale size indicator will increase as the bale grows. When the wrap cycle is about to begin, an alarm will sound. The monitor will also indicate when the bale is complete and ready to be ejected. Once the ejection process is complete and the tailgate has returned to the latched position, the control box will beep to indicate that the machine is ready to start the next bale. Proper maintenance is vital to make certain that your RBX series round baler is in top running condition at all times. Section 5 of your operator's manual contains basic maintenance information. Section 4 describes the lubrication intervals for key components, and Section 6 provides basic troubleshooting tips. Familiarity with this material will help you to keep your baler operating as efficiently as possible. Every 8 hours or at the beginning of the workday, the entire baler should be cleaned of any built-up hay and chaff. Compressed air is perhaps the most effective way to remove trash. Also, before the day begins, take a few moments to visually inspect the entire machine. Be sure to replace any missing bolts and pay special attention to belt and tire condition. A few minutes now can prevent longer downtime later. The lubrication chart in Section 4 of your manual indicates all the daily lube points on your baler. Consistent grease and oil application will keep baler components in optimum condition longer. Remember to clean all paint off the grease fitting before lubricating for the first time. Lube all points before operating the baler. Thanks again for your purchase of a Case IH round baler. By operating your machine according to these tips, carefully reading your operator's manual, and paying attention to safety precautions, you can get the most from your baler today and tomorrow.